Welcome to Wrub hunts. So October and November were very challenging for me, although I did have a few good hunts. But I think it mostly has to do with the change in weather and the food being completely different. Acorns were hot last year, this year not so much. Throughout September and into October, I was getting a lot of really good trail camera videos of big bucks on a small bench. So I had been really excited to eventually hunt there. I stayed away from it in the early season and figured I would start hunting it when the pre-rut rolls around. I thought it would be a no-brainer. The sign was really heavy. The entire bench is used as a scrape. There's a couple of young beech trees growing in the front that just get torn up. My target buck from last year and this new triple tine buck, who's massive, they've been coming through a lot. The hard part about this spot was that there really wasn't any perfect tree around it. So I was then thinking maybe I should just hunt nearby. Just find a good tree and hope it works. And then I realized there's a mountain laurel bush growing on the back side, slightly above the bench, with a medium-sized scarlet oak growing behind it. And I set the lone wolf up about 5 or 6 feet off the ground so that my lower body, when I'm sitting in the lone wolf, is covered by this bush. So I'm thinking early morning movement, I can handle that. I've got cover from the front, but it's a spot you want to get out of there. If you stayed into the mid-afternoon or the evening, there's not a whole lot of side cover at all. I think I would stick out like a sore thumb.
That was so cool. So I'm positioned right below the base of a steep hillside, wrapped up in a beech tree. Got great cover. This morning, walking in, I was thinking about the scrapes around here. There's a historic scrape on a beech tree just below me on my left. I decided to grab a big stick and stir it up. It hasn't been hit all season. Then around 7 o'clock, I thought about doing a grunt sequence, and I'm able to grab a couple beech tree branches around me and really shake them up good. I shook the branches like hell for like 20, 30 seconds, let out a couple soft grunts, and what do you know? Drum, 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 drum. Nice little buck came in. I think he was probably a 6-pointer. Really young, but looking good for his age. That got my heart racing. That was cool. He did exactly what I wanted a buck to do at this spot. So that's good to see. About a half hour left until I gotta wrap things up here. We'll see what happens.
And so this last hunt, just on the boundary of my property, right behind my pond, it's a spot me and Lauren go to hunt frequently after work. It's easy to get into, slip right in and sit for the last hour, maybe hour and a half. Unfortunately, because of the way the stands are positioned, I can't film her hunting. Here we are, evening of November 5th, 4:15 p.m. We got the chainsaw at the neighbors in the background. I love it. But no big deal. Hunting a small property tonight, 14 acres. Set up in the backyard on the very corner of my property, overlooking the bottom corner of my neighbor's field. It's really just a overgrown and partially maintained grass field. I've got 2 stands set up in this area. Lauren's down about 100 yards away from me in another ladder stand, hunting the original spot that I've had at least one really good encounter each year of my hunting seasons. This is a new spot that I set up. If deer come through in this area, both are pretty likely something could happen. But we have a really good view of deer following the edge of the field all the way down, and then before they come in the woods, they either go straight or bank right. Oh, we got a buck. So this last encounter was exciting, and I was actually pretty confused. Lauren took the shot. I had no idea if she hit the buck or not. I kind of saw where it ran, and then everything got quiet. But after reviewing the footage and editing this video, I realized the buck stayed put in that corner between us that whole time. The young spike came through, saw the buck, kind of went around him, and then the buck she shot at came back out. I didn't think that was the buck she shot at. When that buck came in and bedded, I thought we were dealing with a 3-year-old or older. Something about him, I thought he was a big mature buck. He wasn't, and he wasn't a bad buck, but I just got confused, and when he actually came in front of me and gave me a shot, I was like, no, that can't be the buck she shot at. That's just another young buck coming through right before it gets dark. But I do regret not taking a shot at that deer. It was a nice deer, but I was confused and for some reason just held back. She did miss this deer. She thinks that dropped the string and it was a clean miss, fortunately. But props to her, it was the first buck she'd ever taken a shot at. Me and her are similar just because we like to shoot at deer and miss them. But things are starting to turn around for me this year. I just had a really good encounter the other day, as you will see in episode 3, and I'm going to begin to start hunting from the ground more often, something that is completely foreign to me and very intimidating. I think I see why people do it, and in some situations, like the properties that I hunt, it becomes completely necessary. I'm always having a hard time with finding trees in the late season that actually give me enough cover, especially with the fact that I'm filming. So I'll be hunting from the ground. We've got some time left. I believe I can get it done. To be continued. Hey, get off my property. Get off my property.